a CBS special presentation. It's the one night of the year when Broadway comes home to you. Neil Patrick Harris hosts the Tony Awards, live next.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm teen heartthrob Neil Patrick Harris. It's an honor to be back hosting the 65th Annual Tony Awards, and I'd like to deliver a very important message on behalf of all of us who care so deeply about this community. If you've seen a show, then you already know how magical theater can be. It's a 2-hour live-action, barely affordable, unlip-synced version of Glee. So this song goes out to the rest of you, those who've never seen theater before, because Broadway has never been broader. It's not just for gays anymore. If you feel like someone that this world excludes, it's no longer only for dudes who like dudes. Attention, every breeder, you're invited to the theater. It's not just for gays anymore. The glamour of Broadway is beckoning straights. The people who marry in all 50 states. We're asking every hetero to get to know us better. Oh, it's not just for gays anymore. It's for fine, upstanding Christians who know all the songs from Greece. It's for sober-minded businessmen who yearn for some release. So put down your Playboy and go make a plan to pick up a playbill and feel like a man. There's so much to discover with your different gendered lover. It's not just for gays, the gays and the Jews, and cousins in from out of town you have to amuse, and the sad embittered malcontents who write the reviews, and also foreign tourists and the groups of senior citizens and well-to-do suburbanites and liberal intellectuals. Though that group is really only Jews and homosexuals. I've lost my train of thought. Oh yes, it's not just for gays anymore. See what I'm talking about? Thank you. Wow. You can smell the testosterone in the room, can't you? Look at this place. It's full of straight people. Angela Lansbury, you're super hot. Those things real? Stephen Colbert, you're straight as they come. Any thoughts?
I enjoy the theater. I've enjoyed it all my life. I enjoy it with my female woman wife.
Nice. Don't we all, Stephen? Look at this. It's amazing. Look at all these straight people. James Earl Jones, you're straight. Vanessa Redgrave, you're straight. Joe Mantello, thanks for coming. Hey, Chrissy Brinkley's here. That's fantastic. Brooke Shields, you're super hot. You made me think I was straight for like 23 years. Any comments?
When I'm up on stage, there's a land who haven't watched. I'm going to try that again.
5, 6, 7, 8.
When I'm up on stage, there are some... I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, my God. There's a lot of... When I'm up on stage, there's lots of men who like to watch. In fact, one guy sent a twit pic of his crotch.
Nice. It was worth it. Totally improvised. You too? Bono, The Edge, what's going on? You see? You'll feel right at home here on Broadway, everyone. Look at all these straight people. Al Pacino. You're way too famous to participate in this bit. Hey! Look who's here. Bobby Cannavale. You're here. What say you? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Broadway touches parts of me that never have been touched. I love it very much.
Right. Well said. Well said, sir. Wow. I mean, come on. Isn't this fabulous? I mean, isn't this awesome? We've got swarms of Mormons, showgirls, sailors, dancing boys and nuns, plus a spider facing death-defying budget overruns. So people So there's that. We have a great show in store for you tonight. We are live on Broadway from the Beacon Theater. Beautiful, right? Look at this place. Subtle, understated, just the way I like it. Little known fact, everything in here, IKEA. There's one tiny Allen wrench. Listen, I'm excited for you to see just how much entertainment we've packed into this space. So let's start things off with our first presenter. He's a Broadway veteran and no stranger to award shows, a Tony nominee, an Emmy winner, and a fantastic host himself. Please welcome Alec Baldwin.
It is my pleasure to present the first Tony Award of the evening to the woman who has delivered the best performance by an actress in a featured role in a play. I'd like to point out that these outstanding actresses are all first-time nominees, and they are Ellen Barkin in The Normal Heart, Edie Falco in The House of Blue Leaves, Judith Light in Lombardi, Joanna Lumley in La Bette, and Elizabeth Rodriguez in The Mother Mima with the Hats. And the Tony goes to Ellen Barkin in The Normal Heart.
In her Broadway debut, Ellen Barkin wins the Tony Award for her impassioned performance as Dr. Emma Bruckner in The Normal Heart.
Oh, God. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I'm sitting across from Vanessa Redgrave, James Earl Jones, and Angela Lansbury, so that's enough for me. Thank you so much for this. Thank you for the way you've embraced me and welcomed me into your community. I am so grateful and so humbled to be in your company. Performing in The Normal Heart is a very profound experience for me. It's the proudest moment in my career. It has transformed me, not just as an actor, but as a human being. Because it taught me something that I never believed in. It taught me that one person can make a difference, that one person can change the world. So thank you to the great, great Larry Kramer. Thank you, you Jewish boy who always thinks that you can make the world a better place. 30 years ago this week, the world was attacked by a virus and Larry Kramer went to war. He picked up his most powerful weapon, his pen, and he wrote a play, The Normal Heart. 26 years ago, with its first production, he lit a fire, and that fire still burns today down at the Golden Theater. Thank you to our towering visionary genius of a director, George Wolfe. Thank you for teaching me to play with fire, and thank you for turning this production into a Molotov cocktail that we can ignite every night. Thank you to Joe Mantello, who, like Atlas, carries us across the stage night after night on his slim shoulders, just burning through the history of this play. Thank you to the bravest ensemble of actors I've ever had the honor to work with. Thank you to Daryl Roth, wrap it up. Thank you to Wendy Orshant, and I'm going to say it, I've waited a long time. Thank you to my friends Brian Lord and Kevin Eubank, who for 20 years have loved me, supported me, and taken care of me. Joe Mahota, this is ours. Thank you to everyone at CAA. Larry, this is for you and for all the bullets in your belt.
Please welcome welcome two-time Tony winners, both for playing Jake Pierpont Finch in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, Robert Morse and Matthew Broderick.
Having logged more than 2,000 combined nights as a window washer, both of us, we're more than qualified to tell you about the first of tonight's nominees for Best Revival of a Musical.
It's the 50th anniversary of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, and the man who won the Tony for Best Conductor and Musical Director of the original production, Mr. Elliot Lawrence, is conducting the Tony Awards Orchestra tonight. We don't know where he is, but he is in the building, we're told. And he's done this since the first Tony telecast.
So please, please welcome Daniel Radcliffe, Tony nominee, John Larroquette, and the company of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
You see, Wally, I know what's on your mind. You'd like to clear out the whole crowd from top to bottom. But before you consider firing Mr. Bigley...
Whoa, who's considering that?
I would like to say a few words.
About what?
Humanity. Now you may join the Elks, my friend, and I may join the Shriners, and other men may carry cards as members of the Diners. Still others wear a golden key or small Greek letter pin. But I have learned there's one great club that all of us are in. There is a brotherhood of man, a benevolent brotherhood of man, a noble tie that binds all human hearts and minds into one brotherhood of man. Your lifelong membership is free. Keep a giving each brother all you can. Oh, aren't you proud to be in that fraternity? The great big brotherhood of man.
No kidding. Is there really a brotherhood? Yes, of man. On the level of brotherhood of man. Yes, a noble tie that binds all human hearts and minds into one brotherhood of man. Oh, yes, your lifelong membership is free. Keep forgiving each brother all you can. Oh, aren't you proud to be
Jackman, Chris Rock, and next, performances from John Leguizamo, Catch Me If You Can, and the Book of Mormon on the Tony Awards, only CBS. Earlier tonight, the Tony for Best Orchestrations went to Larry Hoffman and Stephen O. Remus.
I'm already so grateful for having fantastic family, my Diane, my Brian and Sarah and Lori, my brother Herbie, who've always believed in me, working with great composers, Bobby, Trey, and Matt, who trusted me, Stephen, to work on their score.
The 65th Annual Tony Awards are sponsored by Cadillac, the new standard of the world. Live on Broadway from the Beacon Theater, welcome back to the American Theater Wing's 65th Annual Tony Awards, presented by the Broadway League and the American Theater Wing. Earlier, the award for Best Score went to Trey Parker, Robert Lopez, and Matt Stone for the Book of Mormon.
We also want to thank Ann Garofino, our producer, who's the best, who puts up with us every day and is an amazing producer, and Scott Rudin, who's relentless, passionate, and drags us kicking and screaming to the next level. So we wouldn't be here without them.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Show's going good so far. You should see it backstage. Backstage is madness. I just had to stop Daniel Radcliffe from poking out the warhorse's eyes. Equus. Highbrow. Tonight is a celebration of Broadway. So we've invited some stars to share their Broadway moments with us. First up, please welcome a two-time Tony nominee currently on Broadway in his latest one-man show, Ghetto Clown, the incredible John Leguizamo.
I want to get something off my chest. I also am Arnold Schwarzenegger's love child. I feel better. I'm glad I said that. Now, my journey to Broadway was a long and odorous one on the number 7 train from Queens to Manhattan. And I'm a son of immigrant parents. My parents left El Anis de Colombia back during the great... Yes. That's it right there in case you were looking for it. And they came here during the great plantain famine of the 60s. And we ended up here in this little ghettoific neighborhood called Jackson Heights. Yeah, all 2 of you, yeah. And it was a tough hood, man. If you couldn't fight, you had to be funny. And that's how I ended up being the school class clown. And so my math teacher, Mr. Zufa, was always trying to mentor me and help me. And he was always, Mr. Leguizamo, Mr. Leguizamo, you have the attention span of a sperm. If they can make penicillin out of moldy bread, imagine what they can make of you. And he gave me a telephone number of an acting teacher, and I knew acting was in my blood because I used to have to watch my moms pay the rent. But when I told my pops was like, pero qué carajo, we didn't come to this country for you to be worse than us. But he was right, because all my first jobs were drug dealers and hitmen. I shot Pacino, I shot Harrison Ford, I shot at Bruce Willis. I'm gonna shoot every A-list actor until they have to use me. No offense, Al, you know I love you. But it was in the theater where I found myself, man, where I could write about my family, but in code, because they're very litigious. My family will sue. And I could also talk about my sexual failures. Oh, yeah, now I go. And I could also talk about my sexual failures on Broadway. And for that, I got 2 Tony nominations, which I lost. And my mom's, the queen of passive aggressors, was like, congratulations, mijo. Of all the losers, you came in first place. But all this revealing of my personal life started freaking me out, and I started getting depressed. And when I'm depressed, I sleep too much, and then I drink too much coffee, and then I can't sleep. Then I drink too much, and I lay around thinking about death, and then I abuse myself excessively. That's my depression. I'm sharing it with you. And I needed help, so to get over the depression, I mean, and to get back on stage. And I found this therapist who specialized in positive thinking, but I kept thinking, what the hell good is that going to do me? You know? So I started just doing small college talks, talking about my life and my career, but I'd have to drink to get the courage up, and then I'd have to run home to write it down before I passed out. And after 5 years of that, I ended up with my next one-man show, Ghetto Clown. Now, if you can write, act, design, and reveal the human condition, if you can open up minds and hearts, and if you can leave a little piece of your soul on that stage every single night, then you are the theater that I love and fight for. And that's my Broadway moment. Thank you. Thank you.
Please welcome a two-time Tony winner, last year's Best Actress in a Play, Viola Davis.
The playwright imagines it. The actors make us believe it. The talented men nominated for Best Performance by an Actor in a Featured Role in a Play have created inspiring portraits that touch our deepest emotions, challenging us to think, daring us to feel, and making us laugh while our hearts cry. The nominees are Mackenzie Crook in Jerusalem, Billy Crudup in Arcadia, John Benjamin Hickey in The Normal Heart, Arian Moyed in The Bengal Tiger at the Baghdad Zoo, and Yul Vasquez in The Mother with the Hat. And the American Theater Wing Tony goes to John Benjamin Hickey in The Normal Heart.
John Benjamin Hickey takes home his first Tony for his masterful portrayal of Felix Turner in The Normal Heart.
Thank you so much. This is such an amazing honor. Thank you, American Theater Wing, the Broadway League. To be included on a list with these other actors and to be a part of this season in New York is such an incredible honor. Being a member of the ensemble of The Normal Heart has been the greatest privilege, proudest moment of my career. We love this play. We love doing this play. We love supporting the mighty, mighty Joe Mantello. And this is for all of us. Thank you, Joel Gray, for bringing me on board and knowing that the time was now. Thank you, George C. Wolfe, for ever so gently taking us all by the throat and dropping us into the mouth of the cannon. Thank you, Daryl Roth, for making it all possible. Wendy Orsha and Jeff Wilson, Heidi and Ron, everyone at 101. Thank you to the aptly named Tim Sage and everyone at Paradigm. Thank you, Laura Linney and Michael Engler and everyone at the Big C, who all got me to the stage door on time every night. I so appreciate it. Thank you to Loretta Hickey, my mother, and my family in Plano, Texas. You better not be watching the Mavericks game. Thank you to all of my friends who are here and who are in here. Thank you to my wise and my wonderful and my exceedingly patient Jeffrey Richmond, my partner. But mainly, thank you to Larry Kramer, the great badass of the American theater, whose play 30 years later reminds us the war's not over. Those of us still standing, Larry, can never repay you. Thank you so much.
Please welcome the star of Catch Me If You Can, Aaron Tveit.
Color, let me take you for a ride. Yes, I'm live in living color. So sit back and let me be your TV. 'Cause
Catch Me If You Can, I play Frank Abagnale Jr., who between the ages of 16 and 20 passed $2 million in bad checks while successfully impersonating a pilot, a doctor, and a lawyer. But there was always one problem. This guy chasing me. Ladies and gentlemen, I present FBI agent Carl Hanratty.
It starts very early once the baby toys are gone. A kid on the playground has to choose what side he's on. It's the bullies or the good guys, boy, there ain't no middle ground. Though hoodlums try to blur the line and to twist the truth around, then they call themselves a winner, but they're self-deceiving fools, 'cause the game ain't worth winning if you're breaking all the rules. Don't break the rules, or else we're living in a wild, wild west. Don't break the rules. God's keeping score. You don't want to fail that test. Don't break the rules. You thumb your nose at the life for which I strive. But those rules, those laws keep us alive. Well, it started back with Moses when he led around the Jews. And climbed way up that mountain to pick up God's daily news. Well, he slept up on Mount Sinai cried and begged on their behalf. He almost dropped those tablets when he showed that golden calf. Now we teach the 10 Commandments every Sunday in our schools. 'Cause the game ain't worth winning if you're breaking our rules. And maybe I guess the Constitution, boys, to some is too complex. They think our founding fathers fought so they could vote some checks. They see themselves as Robin Hood, stealing from the rich, not paying back the things they take. Well, pay back is a bitch, 'cause the world ain't Sherwood Forest. You can't give away those jewels, and the game ain't worth winning if you're breaking out the rules. Come on, break the rules, or else we're living in a wild, wild west. Don't break the rules, and God's keeping score. You don't wanna fail that test. Don't break the rules. You thumb your nose and the level with your drum. But those laws keep us alive. When you steal somebody's money, think of repercussions as you tap that through your life. Though you smile like you're a hero, you're in a law through and through. But the odds are in my favor, man. One day I'll catch you just sneak into a movie where the red light sells the pie. It's all the same to me. You're either guilty or you're not. And we all did what we wanted every time we felt the urge. It's already on the verge, 'cause it's laws that keep us human. 'Cause without them, we're just fools. And the game ain't worth winning. I say, the game ain't worth winning. Well, the game ain't worth winning if we're breaking all the rules. Or else we're living in a wild, wild west. Yeah, it's keeping score. You don't want to fail that test. You thumb your nose at the life for which I strive. But those rules, those laws, those laws, baby, keep us alive.
Coming up, David Hyde Pierce, Bono, The Edge, Harry Connick Jr., and performances from Stephen Colbert, John Cryer, the Scottsboro Boys, and the Book of Mormon on the Tony Awards. Only CBS. Minutes ago, the Tony for Best Choreography went to Kathleen Marshall.
My husband, Scott, I love you so much. We have 2 little twin babies named Ella and Nathaniel, but I think after tonight we're going to change their names to Antoinette and Perry. Thank you so very much.
Welcome back. I'd just like to say that I'm not going to be spending the whole show doing Spider-Man jokes, because it seems it's too easy. It's too easy. It's expected. But it is such a big story this season, I feel like we need to do something. So let's put 30 seconds on the clock. As many Spider-Man jokes as I can get out in half a minute. Ready? And go. Pretty soon they'll be changing the name to Spider-Man Turn Off the Lawsuits. Bow! Spider-Man, the only show that warns you about strobe lights and falling actors. Boom! No audience members were harmed in the making of this musical. Yet. The only thing not falling over at Spider-Man are the ticket prices. Julie Taymor was found out it was over when she woke up and found the head of Warhorse in her bed. Spider-Man's the only show on Broadway where the actors in the cast are actually in casts. I heard they're changing it from Spider-Man Turn in the Dark to Spider-Man Turn Off the Door. All right, great. 7, 6, all right. Got that out of the way. Okay, one more. I sent Bono a congratulatory cable, but it snapped. Thanks. Couldn't help it, couldn't help it. Please welcome a Tony-winning actor seen on Broadway this season in La Bette, the brilliant David Hyde Pierce.
Hello. Hey, I'm presenting the Directing Awards, and I'm so excited, first of all, because I have so many friends who are nominated, and also because I'm actually about to direct for the first time. And so I just want to take this... Thank you. We'll see. And I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate all the nominees and thank them for showing me that in the end, the art of directing is, in a word, the art of communication. Communication. The nominees for Best Direction of a Musical are Rob Ashford for How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, Kathleen Marshall for Anything Goes, Casey Nicholaw and Trey Parker for The Book of Mormon, Susan Stroman for The Scottsboro Boys. The American Theater Wing's Tony goes to Casey Nicholaw and Trey Parker for The Book of Mormon.
With 5 prior nominations for directing and choreography tonight, Casey Nicholaw wins his first Tony Award.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here with you. I had such a great time with you and such a great collaboration. Thank you, Trey.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ann Garofino, Scott Rudin, thank you for bringing this whole group together. I'd like to thank everyone I've met my entire life. Thank you so much. My parents, Kay and Andy Nicholaw, I'm so thrilled to be here, and your support has been amazing. My partner, Josh Marquette, I love you so much. Thank you for being here tonight with me. So happy. Casey Hushin, I have the best associates in the world, Jen Werner and John McGinnis. You two are fantastic. Glenn Kelly, amazing dance arranger. Karen Moore, Rachel, the whole team of stage managers, and the cast. The cast is amazing. And also the ensemble, you guys rock. Thank you so much for your hard work. Thank you very much.
I want to thank my parents who are here tonight, my dad for his edge, my mom for her sweetness, and I want to thank Boogie, who was there with me every night during previews to keep me from passing out. And I really also want to thank South Park fans. If it weren't for you guys, none of this, we wouldn't be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The nominees for Best Direction of a Play are Marianne Elliott and Tom Morris for Warhorse, Joel Grey and George C. Wolfe for The Normal Heart, Anna D. Shapiro for The Mother with a Hat, and Daniel Sullivan for The Merchant of Venice. And the Tony Award goes to Marianne Elliott and Tom Morris for Warhorse.
Marianne Elliott and Tom Morris each earned their first Tony nomination and award for their win for the brilliant staging of Warhorse.
Wow, what an honor. What an amazing list of people to be up alongside. We want, first of all, to thank the extraordinary craft and skill of our creative team, some of the others of whom have been honored this evening too. It has been an amazing privilege to work with them. And also to thank the people who took blind leaps of faith on this show, starting really with the National Theatre in London, when we went to Nick Heitner and said we want to make a show about a horse. We want it to be played by a puppet that can't speak. And he sent it off to the National Theatre studio, this kind of laboratory where you can fool around with terrible ideas that are never going to work and no one ever finds out about them. And after we did a bit of that, he finally said we could put the show on. So thank you, Nick Heitner and Nick Starr.
Also, thank you to everybody who has contributed to bring the show over to New York. There's been hundreds of people there behind the scenes. It's a very complex, complicated show, even though it looks quite simple. But we really wanted to thank the amazing cast of the New York Warhorse, all American, created a fantastic atmosphere in the rehearsal room, which was about mainly play. And so we had a wonderful time to be able to play with them. Thank you.
And also Marianne's husband, Nick.
And Tom's wife, Kate.
Please welcome an Academy Award-nominated actor, Don Cheadle.
The second nominee for Best Musical marks the thrilling and Tony-nominated final collaboration by the legendary team of John Kander and the late Fred Ebb. This daring production is based on the notorious Scottsboro case in 1930s Alabama. 9 African-American men were unjustly accused of a terrible crime. They spent years in jail while their case was tried and retried. Boldly using the bygone minstrel show style to document their shocking and inspiring story, this provocative musical explores a fascinating chapter in American history. Their Broadway run has ended, but they're soon to be on tour. Please welcome the company of the Scottsboro Boys.
What story are we going to tell tonight?
We're going to tell the story of the Scottsboro Boys.
Chattanooga. Come and sing in Chattanooga. On the Southern Railroad line. On the Southern Railroad line.
I got up in the morning when my sleep was done, and I felt that cheery Chattanooga sun. Then I thanked the Lord above that I was still alive, and I waited for the 6:05.
Come and sing in Chattanooga.
And it chugga-chuggaed in, and I said, there you are, as I scrambled in the old boxcar. Then I settled back, believing that the world was fine. I was traveling on the Southern line.
Come and sing in Chattanooga.
Here now, I'm gonna see the world
of the Southern Railroad line.
And ain't no finer way to travel. Now you can take your B&O, and you can take your Santa Fe, and you can take your old Rock Island line,
and throw them all away.
And if the Pennsylvania calls, just say you want your money back. And if the New York Central's on the phone, tell them they're way off the track.
Come and sing in Chattanooga. Come and sing in Chattanooga. Come and sing in Chattanooga. On the Southern Railroad line. On the Southern Railroad line.
Come on, boys, now, one more time.
Oh, you can take your B&O, and you can take your Santa Fe, and you can take your old Rock Island line,
and throw them all away.
I am free. I am free. I am free. There ain't a soul can hold me back, 'cause I am just as free as air. As long as I got legs and trains got wheels, I could ride me anywhere. And if the Lord above comes down and asks you where the hell I am, just tell him no one knows where he would go, 'cause I'm a boxcar baby lamb. Come and sing in Chattanooga. Come and sing in Chattanooga. On the southern railroad line. On the southern railroad
Coming up, Angela Lansbury, Harry Connick Jr., Brooke Shields, and Hugh Jackman. And next, a performance from the Book of Mormon on the Tony Awards, only CBS. The 65th Annual Tony Awards are sponsored by AT&T. Rethink possible. Please welcome the chairman of the American Theater Wing, Ted Chapin, and the honorary chairman, 5-time Tony winner, Angela Lansbury.
Tonight we celebrate the 65th presentation of the American Theater Wing's Tony Awards, a very long run indeed. But there's so much more for the Wing than just this one gala night each year.
We take the American part of our name very seriously, going beyond New York to provide resources for theater companies, artists, students, and audiences nationally.
Back in the 1940s, when the Wing helped me to take drama lessons, there was no such thing as podcasts or portable media players. Today, the Wing offers more than 700 hours of theatrical media free through our website.
We often hear from those who work in the theater that their first exposure was through the Tony Awards, long before they ever saw a show on Broadway. That's why, thanks to our supporters, we offer programs like Working in the Theater, Downstage Center, and for young people entering the profession, Springboard NYC.
A life in the theater is a wonderful one. And the American Theater Wing has been part of mine for almost 70 years. I'd like to offer congratulations to all of the nominees and winners tonight, and to all of you watching at home for sharing our passion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please welcome a 3-time Tony nominee, last seen on Broadway in the role of Harry Connick Jr., Harry Connick Jr.
Thank you very much. Each of the 5 women in this category is an exemplary artist in her own right and truly deserving of an award for her work. One of them will take home a Tony because her colleagues believe she delivered the best performance by an actress in a featured role in a musical. The nominees are Laura Benanti, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown; Tammy Blanchard, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying; Victoria Clark, Sister Act; Nikki M. James, The Book of Mormon; and Patti LuPone, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. And the Tony Award goes to Nikki M. James, The Book of Mormon.
Nikki M. James wins her first Tony for her wonderful performance as Nabalungi in the original musical The Book of Mormon.
Tony, come on over. Live with me. This is... I didn't expect to be standing here tonight, and I tried to write a speech, but I felt silly. So I just have to say that I would love to thank Trey and Matt and Bobby for writing the most incredible show, the funniest and most beautiful, heartfelt musical. It's changing the face of American musical theater. My love. I want to thank Ann and Scott for producing this show and working so tirelessly hard to make this an incredible experience. And Casey and Stephen Aremus for those late night phone calls when I was scared and terrified that I wasn't going to be able to do it. And for introducing me to Liz Kaplan, my incredible voice teacher who saved my life and my voice. And to my co-stars, Josh and Andrew and Rory and Michael and Lewis and everyone over at the Eugene O'Neill 8 times a week. They're saying wrap it up, but I will not leave the stage. And I also want to thank our ensemble. They are all leading ladies and women, and I am proud to share the stage with them. Who did I forget? A million people, my friends. I just need to say, my mother is here with me tonight. There's a story about bumblebees. The physicists couldn't figure out how they did it, how they flew, and we all know that they do. We've seen them do it, and they did it because nobody told them that they couldn't. And because of sheer will and determination. And I come from a long line of bumblebees. And I am so proud. My brother, who is my hero, who is in the balcony up there. So I love my friends and family. And I'm really grateful that nobody ever told me that I couldn't do it and I couldn't fly. And I am. This award, this gorgeous award, is for my Poppy, who isn't here with me tonight, but he sits on my shoulder every night. And for my angel on earth, my little Ozzy, you are a miracle, and you remind me every day that miracles do happen. Thank you to the wing and everyone.
Please welcome a performer who made his stage debut in the New York Philharmonic production of Company, Stephen Colbert.
Thank you. Thank you. Please sit down. Please. Thank you. The next nominee for Best Musical follows 2 young Mormon missionaries as they travel from their homes in Salt Lake City to a poor and desolate village in northern Uganda. After witnessing the brutality of a local warlord, one of the Mormon boys starts to lose faith in his religion. But instead of abandoning his church, Elder Price decides to double down and reaffirm everything a Mormon believes. Here to perform I Believe is Tony nominee Andrew Rannells from the Book of Mormon.
Ever since I was a child, I tried to be the best. So what happened? My family and friends all said I was blessed. So what happened? It was supposed to be all so exciting, to be teaching of Christ across the sea. But I allowed my faith to be shaken. Oh, what's the matter with me? I've always longed to help the needy, to do the things I never dared. This was the time for me to step up. So then why was I so scared? A warlord who shoots people in the face. What's so scary about that? I must trust that my Lord is mightier and always has my back. Now I must be completely devout. I can't have even one shred of doubt. I believe that the Lord God created the universe. I believe that he sent his only son to die for my sins. And I believe that ancient Jews built boats and sailed to America. I am a Mormon, and a Mormon just believes. You cannot just believe partway. You have to believe in it all. My problem was doubting the Lord's will instead of standing tall. I can't allow myself to have any doubt. It's time to set my worries free. Time to show the world what Elder Price is about and share the power inside of me. I believe that God has a plan for all of us. I believe
We have an intruder. He just walked right into camp. I believe that Satan has a hold of you. I believe that the Lord God has sent me here. And I believe that in 1978 God changed his mind about black people. Black people, you can be a Mormon. A Mormon who just believes.
What the is this?
This is the moment I was born to do. And I feel so incredible to be sharing my faith with you. The scriptures say that if you ask in faith, if you ask God himself, you'll know. But you must ask him without any doubt and let your spirit grow. I believe that God lives on a planet called Cola. I believe that Jesus has his own planet as well. And I believe that the Garden of Eden was in Jackson County, Missouri. You believe the Lord will reveal it, and you'll know it's all true. You'll just feel it. You'll be a Mormon, and by gosh, a Mormon doesn't just believe. A Mormon just I believe.
Coming up, Hugh Jackman, Brooke Shields, Robin Williams, Bono and the Edge, and performances from Spider-Man, Sister Act, and last year's Tony-winning Best Musical, Memphis, on the Tony Awards, only CBS. This evening, the award for Best Sound Design of a Musical went to Brian Ronan.
I wouldn't be standing here if not for Bobby and Larry's great music, sung by that cast, played by that band, conducted by Stephen Aremus. It was phenomenal.
Welcome back to the Tony Awards. And now please welcome a talented actor and one-time host of this very show, Hugh Jackman.
Whoa, Neil. Let's hear it for Neil Patrick Harrison, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Harris.
Absolutely. Yeah, and listen, for a guy in sitcoms, really great. Really good.
Well, that's nice, coming from a guy who does movies.
Well, you know, I'm a theater guy, too. And by the way, your intro, I've actually hosted the show 3 times. Just a little thing.
Well, I've hosted the show before, too, Hugh, and I won an Emmy for it.
Right, so did I. Yeah.
I've hosted the Emmys.
Television. Right, yeah. And you've hosted the Oscars. Oh, sorry, no, that was... Anyway.
Wow, you're jealous that they asked me to host and not you.
I'm not jealous.
You are.
No, I'm not. I only play the big rooms.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Beacon joke. Interesting.
A little one.
What you're saying, you're saying you think you do a better job hosting than I would.
Well, can I be honest?
Please.
Okay, what I'm saying is, any show you can host, I can host better. I can host any show better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Your show is How I Met Your Mother. I'll do the show, do the other. Stick to your sitcom, stick to your situation comedy.
Oh, no, Hugh Jackman, no. You should know better. You are a host, or so you say. You should know better. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Viva Laughlin did not make 'em laugh.
Any dance you can dance, I can dance better. I can dance any dance better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
to host, I've simply got to bar mitzvah or a roast, it's me and not ya. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade.
But do you know how to ad-lib during breaks?
My writers do.
How to deliver the ratings?
Ish.
How to avoid running long?
Boy.
How to acquire better gift bags?
What? You know how to get better gift bags?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Stick with me, kiddo.
Hugh Jackman, you're awesome. You're the top.
Yeah. You're the war horse pony. You're the top.
Hugh, you won a Tony.
Yeah. You're a Phantom's run.
Pacino's gun.
A pre-unwrapped cough drop. Buddy, on the bottom. You're the top. Whoa! We're real good. We'll make them feel good. We want the spirits to climb. Let us entertain you, and we'll have a real good time. Yes, sir. We'll have a real good
Wow. Hugh, my God, that's a workout. Woo!
Good.
That's tough. Now I know why you're all six-packy. Okay, back to hosting. Please welcome
in. Sorry.
It's my job. I'm the host.
I'm getting.
Please welcome an actress who's returning to this.
It's in my
Just
head.
do it. Just
Okay,
do it.
Thank you so much, please. Please welcome an actress who is returning to Broadway this month in the Addams Family, the one, the only, Brooke Shields.
I can do 8 shows a week, but I can't read a teleprompter. I gotta tell you, they asked me to do this at the last minute, and I was messing up, and I thought, well, it's okay. All right, they're gonna bleep me. Ugh. Anyway, I am thrilled, and I will be returning to Broadway, and it is a thrill to me just to be able to be here to present an award to one of these 5 very talented men. Now, any single one of those artists is deserving of an award, see, for his work this season. The nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Featured Role in a Musical are Coleman Domingo, the Scottsboro Boys, Adam Godley, Anything Goes, John Larroquette, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, Forrest McClendon, the Scottsboro Boys, Rory O'Malley, The Book of Mormon. The American Theater Wings Tony goes to John Larroquette, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
In his Broadway debut, John Larroquette earns the Tony for his hilarious performance as J.B. Bigley in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
Wow, I have no spit. You know what? I don't think I get much argument by saying that I've had my fair share of success in this business, except from maybe a few who would say more than my fair share. And after the magnificent generosity of the Broadway League and the American Theater Wing in honoring me with this award, I might have a tendency to agree with those who think I've had more than my fair share. There are far too many people to have to thank in the time allowed, but a few should be mentioned. Craig Zaden and Neil Marin, our stalwart producers who, along with Beth Williams and Broadway Across America, and a posse of producers who brought this show to life. Rob Ashford, our director, for his talent and vision. David Chase, our musical director, for his inspiration and patience. A special thank you to Sarah Ogliebe, our dance captain, who I'm sure thought that she lost a bet when she got stuck with me. Entire company and cast, as a very special thanks to Daniel Radcliffe, without whom I know that I would be home sitting in my underwear watching this on television. To my family, my wife Elizabeth, my children Lisa, Jonathan, and Benjamin, thank you so very much.
Please welcome the composers of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, Bono and The Edge.
All right, Al. How you doing, Alec? We used to be famous for being in U2. When I first saw the Tony Awards on our schedule, I just kind of assumed that we'd been nominated.
It appears we missed the deadline.
A few of them.
In rock and roll, you see, deadlines are just the lie your manager tells you to get you back on the bus.
Well, it's been quite a journey, but we can promise you tonight, and it has been confirmed by the Reverend Harold Camping, that Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark opens next Tuesday. So please give us that. We hang in there.
The truth is that we were ready in February, but we just wanted to keep the excitement level up at the New York Post.
But yes, past couple of years have really given us a great education, and particularly as to how hard all of you people work around here, and that is something to see. And every show that you see on this stage tonight is not just a miracle of detail and dedication. It's a procession of miracles, and it is surely humbling to be invited into such company.
Wow, this humble thing really works for you, man. Well, I'd run with it. But truly, we have learned so much from all of the gifted actors, technicians, musicians, and the creative collaborators who have worked with us to invent and reinvent Spider-Man. Really, to us, they are the superheroes.
And here's two of them, our Mary Jane Watson and our Peter Parker, Jennifer Damiano and Reeve Carney, two extraordinary artists. Thanks for your patience.
Hey, Peter, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
So, you live here in Morningside Heights.
Yep.
I live on the Lower East Side. Yep. When I call you to come over, it takes you not even 5 minutes to get to me. How is that possible?
Well, I take the A train, which runs express, don't forget, down to 14th Street.
Fine. Don't tell me your secret.
MJ.
If you tell me you have to go to work...
You know Spider-Man doesn't nightly sweep of the city. I have to follow him with my camera.
Peter...
Anything could be happening out there. An alien invasion? The end of the world?
Come on, stay with me. Don't think about tomorrow. We've only got today. There's nothing that I want from you. Not a word you have to say.
You are all I need, all I can defend. I can feel your heartbeat quicken, and then slow. There's nothing else I need to know.
And there's nothing you need to pretend. If the world should end, and the sky tonight is luminous for some unknown reason, and every doorway is hiding something. And if this world should end,
there's no tomorrow, I'll have today again.
There's no time for sorrow when there's no such thing as time.
And if the darkness will descend,
don't need a savior or a friend.
I can say I've really loved if the world should end.
Coming up, Robin Williams, Jim Parsons, Samuel L. Jackson, Chris Rock, Whoopi Goldberg, and performances from Anything Goes, Sister Act, and Memphis on the Tony Awards. Only CBS. Earlier tonight, the award for Best Sound Design of a Play went to Christopher Schutt.
Thank you to the Tony voters for this incredible honor. It's amazing.
This evening, the award for Best Costume Design of a Play went to Desmond Healy.
I grew up in a workroom, and I have a healthy respect for people who put things together. Clothes, costumes, wigs, hats, all sorts of things.
Please welcome an actor making his Broadway debut this season in The Normal Heart, Jim Parsons.
It's been a thrill for me to make my Broadway debut in a year that the Broadway League has announced is the highest grossing season on record. It's also been an exciting year for powerful new plays, which tell stories that can move us to laughter and tears and hopefully reveal a little truth about ourselves. We've invited cast members to tell you about the work nominated for Best Play. Here are the first two of tonight's 4 nominees.
I'm Tate Donovan. David Lindsay of Bear's Good People explores the struggles, shifting loyalties, and the unshakable hopes that come with having next to nothing in America. It takes place in Southie, a Boston neighborhood, where a night on the town means a few rounds of bingo, where this month's paycheck covers last month's bills, and where Margie Walsh, played by Tony nominee Frances McDormand, has just been let go from yet another job. Facing eviction and scrambling to catch a break, Margie thinks her ticket to a new start might be an old flame who made it out of Southie, played by me. But is my character secure enough to face his humble beginnings and a secret that threatens to tear his life apart? Margie is about to risk what little she has left to find out. And I gotta mention that it's really funny.
Jerusalem by Jez Butterworth takes place in the heart of an English forest. On a beautiful spring morning, the local council is planning to bulldoze the forest to build an housing estate. But first, they have to get past Rooster Byron. Rooster, played by him, Mark Rylance, has lived wild in the wood for 30 years. A modern-day Pied Piper, a lord of misrule, Rooster dances to his own drum, surrounding himself with a ragtag band of outcasts drawn by his tall tales and endless supply of booze and drugs. Rooster makes a last defiant stand against the bulldozers, defending all which is untamed, ancient, fierce, and free, to ride a long day's journey into the very heart of England's soul.
Please welcome an Academy Award winner currently on Broadway in Bengal Tiger at the Baghdad Zoo, the incomparable Robin Williams.
Coming to Broadway next season, Muammar Gaddafi in Catch Me If You Can. This is an incredible room. The only beard here is on my face. What a nice night. I'm here to present the award for Best Book of a Musical. They say the book is the spine of a musical from which all the songs hang, or in the case of Spider-Man, they dangle and pray for the best. And now the nominees for Best Book of a Musical are Alex Timbers for the book of Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson. Trey Parker, Robert Lopez, and Matt Stone for the book of Mormon. David Thompson for the book of the Scottsboro Boys. Sherry Steinkellner, Bill Steinkellner, and Douglas Carter Bean for the book of Sister Act. And the Tony Award goes to the Book of Mormon.
With his first foray onto Broadway, co-writer Matt Stone accepts the Tony for the Book of Mormon. He also won earlier for original score.
Wow. Well, we want to congratulate all the nominees and everybody, and thank everybody for this. Specifically, I want to thank my wife, Angela, and the rest of my family, and all the South Park fans out there. Thank you. Trey and I and Bobby also want to thank Ann Garofino, our producer, who was just amazing every step of the way. The Book of Mormon would not have happened without Ann, and she's a great producer and a great friend. And Scott Rudin, who probably every single person in this room knows, is relentless and passionate, and thank you for carrying Scott. So thanks, everybody. Here's Trey.
Thanks. I just want to say thank you, John Bozzetti. You're the greatest agent in the world. And Stephen Aremus and everyone that worked on the music. And thank you, Mom, Dad, Katie and Annie, and especially Kristen for all the love and the notes.
We wrote this over many years with a really talented cast, and so we have to share this with them because we wrote it around them. And I also want to thank Casey again for just being such an awesome director. And thank you.
Please welcome Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award winner, Whoopi Goldberg.
Anyway, the final nominee for Best Musical is based on a little film that I did a couple years ago. First, I guess The Lion King came to Broadway, then Color Purple. Jeez, next thing you know, Ghost will be, oh yeah, it's coming too. Oh well. Now listen, if you haven't seen Sister Act, here's all you need to know. Flashy nightclub singer Dolores Van Cartier witnesses a mob hit, and the police hide her in a stuffy convent until she can testify. So what else is there for a girl to do but to teach the nuns how to sing? We now join Dolores as she takes on the gargantuan task of coaching the very sweet but not so sweet sounding choir of nuns to sing as one for the very first time. Performing Raise Your Voice, please welcome the insanely talented Tony-nominated Patina Miller and the fantastic company of Sister Act.
When you've got a song worth hearing, there's one thing to do. hicimos Jesucristo en gloria de Padre. Get going to heaven. Let your free flag fly. Don't you hide it. Why not ride it like it's gospel?
Chris Rock, Daniel Radcliffe, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and performances from John Cryer, Christina Hendricks, Stephen Colbert, Memphis. Anything goes on the Tony Awards. Only CBS. Please welcome an actress who's at home on stage, screen, and your nearest television, Marg Helgenberger.
Thank you. This season, 17 new plays opened on Broadway. Actors from the first two nominees for Best Play have given us brief glimpses into those creations. Here are the final two nominees.
The Mother with the Hat. That's not me, Bobby Cannavale. That's who my character, Jackie, is out to get in this fire-breathing comedy about love and fidelity by Stephen Adly Girgis. Jackie and his volatile soulmate, Veronica, played by Elizabeth Rodriguez, have been in love since the 8th grade. But now, Jackie is on parole and living clean and sober under the guidance of his sponsor, Ralph D., played by Chris Rock. Meanwhile, Veronica is fiercely loving, but far from sober. Still, their love is pure and true, and nothing can come between them, except the Mother with the Hat.
British author Michael Morpurgo's young adult novel Warhorse, adapted by playwright Nick Stafford in association with South Africa's Handspring Puppet Company, winner of a special Tony Award tonight, comes to life in a spectacle that blends modern and traditional storytelling in a production that is both intimate and epic. Set during World War I, the play centers on the life of a horse named Joey, who is raised by 16-year-old Albert, played by me, Seth Numrick. When Britain goes to war, Joey is sold to the cavalry and thrust into the midst of combat, where he witnesses the horrors of battle. Determined to bring Joey home, Albert runs off to France, lies about his age, and enlists, embarking on a treacherous mission to find him.
Ironically, that entire horse is held together by glue. Please welcome a two-time Tony nominee, last seen on Broadway in All My Sons, Patrick Wilson.
The nominee
for Best Revival of a Play offer outrageous humor and devastating heartbreak. They include Tom Stoppard's masterful blurring of past and present in his exploration of chaos versus order, Oscar Wilde's farcical satire on Victorian ways, William Shakespeare's Shakespearean tragicomedy about a love triangle and a creditor out for his pound of flesh, and Larry Kramer's autobiographical account of the rise of the HIV/AIDS crisis in early 1980s New York City. And the nominees are Arcadia, The Importance of Being Earnest, The Merchant of Venice, The Normal Heart, and the Tony Award goes to The Normal Heart.
Accepting the award for The Normal Heart, producer Daryl Roth.
Thank you all for this incredible honor. This was a labor of love for us all. The freedom to love, the freedom to live, and the freedom to marry are still urgent issues, and we all share a deep belief that theater can change us, can change the world, and that theater really matters. This production's journey began with Joel Grey and now under the brilliant direction of George C. Wolfe. Our fearless ensemble of actors, led by Joe Mantello, John Benjamin Hickey, and Ellen Barkin, and our wonderful designers have masterfully brought Larry Kramer's play of compassion, truth, and righteous rage to life. My thanks to Wendy, Jeff, everyone at 101, my co-producers Paul Boskin, Carl, Greg, Jane, and Alex, and to Larry, thank you for inspiring us with the gift of the normal heart. It is the ultimate love story.
Dearest loving mother, Daryl Roth, and generous Paul Boskin, thank you and everyone for this magnificent production. To gay people everywhere whom I love so, The Normal Heart is our history. I could not have written it had not so many of us so needlessly died. Learn from it and carry on the fight. Let them know that we are a very special people, an exceptional people, and that our day will come.
Broadway League members across the country, millions of kids are treated to Broadway and theater performances every season. This February, thanks to a grant from one of our Tony Award sponsors, Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS, kids from underserved public schools and AIDS service organizations enjoyed a special performance of Memphis. But unbeknownst to the actors, the kids had done their homework. They got their moves down, and during the finale, they jumped up to their feet to perform the choreography and lyrics to Steal Your Rock and Roll to surprise the cast. In celebration of that magical experience, please welcome back the company of last year's Tony-winning Best Musical for an encore performance, the cast of Memphis.
First comes a point in everybody's life when they gotta stand up and face a fight.
Then comes a point in everybody's life when they gotta walk like if they don't fight. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follow my heart right here. I swallow my fear, follo
Radcliffe, Samuel L. Jackson, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Chris Rock, and performances from Stephen Colbert, Patti LuPone, John Cryer, Paul Schaefer, and Anything Goes on the Tony Awards. Only CBS. Earlier tonight, the award for Best Costume Design of a Musical went to Tim Chappell and Lizzie Gardner.
We love what we do, and what we do is reward enough, but this really makes it an amazing experience. Thank you.
Just minutes ago, the award for Best Scenic Design of a Play went to Ray Smith.
Thank you for the privilege of being here and being allowed to be a part of the Broadway theatre scene. It's fabulous.
Welcome back. Having such a fun night. It is crazy backstage. It's mental. I saw the casts of Sister Act and the cast of Book of Mormon get in a fist fight. I was like, oh my gods. Please welcome an Academy Award nominated actor who is coming to Broadway later this year as Martin Luther King Jr. in The Mountaintop, Samuel L. Jackson.
The house lights dim, the curtain rises. The stage begins to glow. The performers assemble to convey a story that began in the mind of the playwright. The authors of tonight's nominees for Best Play used their skills to preserve their individual visions, and the results are not only compelling, but powerful contributions to theater. We've already heard about the plays from the actors who interpret them. Once again, the nominees are Good People, Jerusalem, The Mother with the Hat, Warhorse, the American Theater Wing's Tony goes to Warhorse.
Accepting the award for Warhorse, author Nick Stafford and producer Nicholas Heitner.
Thank you to everybody who makes Warhorse. Thank you to everybody who comes to see it. Between us, something very special is happening. Thank you very much for this.
On behalf of Nick Starr, the National Theatre, and myself, I want to thank, above all, Bernard Gersten and Andre Bishop and everybody at Lincoln Center Theatre, who are wonderful collaborators and with whom it's always a joy to work. We want to thank our indefatigable partner, Bob Boyette. We've been in a relationship for 8 years with him, and it's been a joy. I personally want to thank the amazing creative team, Nick Stafford, the directors, Hans Spring, everybody. And I want to congratulate and thank the American cast of Warhorse, who are not only great actors, but have mastered very difficult English dialects to the manner born. And I want to thank my colleagues back home in London at the National Theatre. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now, a Tony and Academy Award winner for Cabaret and a nominee tonight, currently celebrating his 6th decade on the New York stage. Welcome, Joel Gregg.
Thank you. Anything Goes is Cole Porter's classic shipboard farce, tonight's second nominee for Best Revival of a Musical. The story revolves around romances, mistaken identities, and celebrity chasing aboard the SS American's voyage from New York to London. Among the crazy passengers and stowaways are Reno Sweeney, an evangelist turned nightclub singer, a wealthy English aristocrat with a debutante fiancée, her pursuer and her protective mother, a Wall Street millionaire, and a gangster. Moonface Martin, public enemy number 13, played with great charm and excellence by me. A safe crossing and hilarious time are had by all, and now the rousing final song with the great Tony nominee, the awesome Sutton Foster, and our enormously great Company of Anything Goes.
In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking, but now God knows anything goes. Good authors, too, who once knew better words, now only use four-letter words, writing prose. Anything goes. If driving fast cars, you like it, low bars, you like it, bold hymns, you like it, bare limbs, you like it, Mae West, you like, or me undressed, you like, why nobody will oppose. But every night the set that's smart is intruding and nudist parties in studios. Anything
Coming up, Vanessa Redgrave, James Earl Jones, Kelsey Grammer, Chris Rock, and Daniel Radcliffe. And performances from Neil Patrick Harris, Christina Hendricks, John Cryer, Stephen Colbert, and a special surprise from Paul Schaefer. The 65th Annual Tony Awards are sponsored by the all-new Chevy Volt, 2011 North American Car of the Year. Welcome back to the Tony Awards. Earlier tonight, a special Tony Award for Lifetime Achievement in the Theater was presented to playwright Athol Fugard.
Thank you, South Africa. Thank you, America.
A Lifetime Achievement Tony was also presented to Tony-winning producer Philip J. Smith.
We may live in a world of smartphones and iPads, but nothing will ever replace the magic of Broadway.
The Isabel Stevenson Award for Humanitarian Efforts was presented to playwright and performer Eve Ensler.
And I really plead with all of us to see the theater as this vehicle and to remember why we were drawn there and to be more bold, more daring, and more outrageous.
The Handspring Puppet Company is a recipient of this year's Special Tony Award.
We've been very lucky to have the comradeship of a fantastic creative team in the making of the play.
And the Regional Theater Tony Award was presented to Chicago's Looking Glass Theater Company.
The vast majority of our work is original and generated by a multidisciplined body of artists who believe that working together as an ensemble to create work, whether on stage or in the classroom, is a vast, great, and distinct thing.
Please welcome a two-time Tony winner and a Tony winner and nominee tonight from Driving Miss Daisy, Vanessa Redgrave and James Earl Jones.
Theaters are shrines. They are mysterious temples brimming with magic. The floorboards are worn down by generations of players. The curtains are imbued with secrets of days gone by. The actors, in their quest to create wonder and ignite debate, dwell among the great spirits of the past.
Our plays live in the present, live in the past, and they're also lighthouses for our common future. They stir our thoughts, they throw light, and they connect us. We're now going to offer to you, thanks to the Tonys, some wonderful moments from plays both timeless and timely that have been seen in the last few months in the theater.
Well, listen, Paul, here's the layup.
Senses, affections, passions.
All we had was our appearance and our turn for pleasing men.
I'm saying put the blame on me.
Who said the blame's not on you?
You broke up with me.
You thought I was so pretty.
We had some good times. Great.
I like to go under the speed limit.
Speed limit 35, yeah.
Oh, good boy!
The fact is, tigers are atheists. All of us, unabashed.
Pride! That's what we play for!
I'm here with bells on, bringing out how I feel.
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell. I am pleased to hear it.
Well, guess what? I'm an idiot!
A talentless, obnoxious pile of goo.
Do you mean this as a criticism?
It only sounds harsh. You wait a few more years, it won't sound so harsh.
Analyze it, what have you? Meaningless.
I applaud that.
Please welcome an actress making her Broadway debut this season in Chicago, Christy Brinkley.
This year, the New York Philharmonic
Philharmonic assembled an A-list cast for a star-studded revival of Stephen Sondheim's Tony Award-winning musical, Company. They've also turned this exciting production into a movie. The first of its 4 showings begins this Wednesday night in select theaters across the country. But tonight, we're thrilled to reunite this all-star cast right here on the Tony stage with Side by Side. Please welcome the cast of Company.
I mean, when you've got friends like mine.
Happy birthday, Albert!
I mean, when you've got friends like mine. Isn't it warm? Isn't it rosy? Side by side.
Such a cutie.
By side.
Isn't he a cutie?
Ports in a storm. Comfy and cozy. Side by side.
He never loses his cool.
By side. One's impossible. 2 is dreary. 3 is company. Safe and cheery. Side.
My best friend.
By side.
Second best.
Here is the church. Here is the steeple. Open the doors and see all the crazy married people. What would we do without you? How would we ever get through? Who would not come waiting for hours? Who would bring all the flowers when I have the flu? Who finish yesterday's stew? Who take the kids to the zoo? Who is so dear and who is so deep? And who would keep her occupied when I want to sleep? What would we do without you? Just what you usually do. Sit with us, share with us, you move it with us, you move there with us. Okay, now, everybody. Isn't it warm? Isn't it rosy? Side by side. Ports in a storm, comfy and cozy. Side by side. Everything shines. How sweet. Side by side. Parallel lines who meet. Side by side. Year after year, older and older, side by side. Sharing a tear, lending a shoulder, side by side. Two's impossible, 2 is gloomy. Give another number to me, side. Come on! By side. By side. By side, 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 by side. By
Please welcome a Tony nominee last seen on Broadway in La Caja Full, Kelsey Grammer.
Having happily spent the better part of the last year in a Broadway revival, I can tell you that there's a special delight in sharing a piece of theater from the past with audiences of today. The 2 productions nominated for Best Revival of a Musical are inspiring new interest in shows that hold celebrated places in the history of the American theater. We've seen performances from the brilliant companies of both. Once again, the nominees are Anything Goes.
Good authors too, who once knew better words, now only use 4-letter words, writing prose. Anything goes.
How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. And the Tony goes to Anything Goes.
Accepting the award for Anything Goes, producer Todd Hames.
On behalf of my partners, Harold Wopert and Julia Levy, we'd like to thank Tom Tuft, Mary Solomon, Sam Chapin, Douglas Durst, and the entire board of directors of the Roundabout Theater Company, the incredibly hardworking staff of the Roundabout Theater, our executive producer of Anything Goes, Sydney Beers, Sydney Beers, our brilliant casting director, Jim Carnahan, John Weidman, and Tim Krause for all of their support. The best design team in the business, our incredible company, which you've seen, led by the legendary Joel Gray and the truly magnificent Sutton Foster. And last but not least, the person most responsible for Anything Goes being Best Revival of the Year, our brilliant director and choreographer, Kathleen Marshall. Thank you.
Please welcome a Tony winner returning to Broadway next month in Masterclass, Tyne Daly.
Just as the Broadway community dims its marquee lights in tribute to a theater colleague's passing, we pause each year to honor the cherished members of our community who we will never forget. This year, we lost some giants in our business, including 6-time Tony nominee and 2-time Tony winner, Mr. Arthur Lawrence. In Gypsy, Arthur wrote about the need for recognition. Mama Rose confesses that she just wanted to be noticed. The unique contribution of our departed co-workers are indeed noticed. We celebrate their lives and the talents they shared with us and the memories of the exhilarating work they leave behind.
The award for Best Scenic Design of a Musical went to Scott Pask.
I mean, I started designing T-shirts from my high school or my junior high swim team.
Please welcome back the star of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, Daniel Radcliffe.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to present 2 awards this evening honoring the outstanding work of exceptional women. The first is for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role in a Play. By virtue of their nomination, these 5 artists have already won the recognition, respect, and gratitude of their peers. The nominees are Nina Arianda in Born Yesterday, Frances McDormand in Good People, Lily Rabe in The Merchant of Venice, Vanessa Redgrave in Driving Miss Daisy, and Hannah Yelland in Brief Encounter. And the Tony Award goes to Frances McDormand for Good People.
Tonight, Frances McDormand earns her first Tony. She was previously nominated for Best Actress in 1988 for A Streetcar Named Desire.
Thank you. The last time I was at the Beacon Theater, Greg Allman played right there, right after his liver transplant. I'm so happy to be here. I want to list my company members in the Manhattan Theater Club's production of David Lindsay Abair's new play, Good People. They are Estelle Parsons, Becky Ann Baker, Tate Donovan, myself, Renee Elise Goldsberry, and our young one, Patrick Carroll. On their behalf, I accept this for our entire company. We had the great good fortune, along with our fearless and adored leader, Mr. Daniel Sullivan, and our crack design team of Beatty, Connors, and Zinn to help David Lindsay Abair realize his new play. And we all believe that it is an American classic with a classic American hero, Maggie Walsh, the character that I played. I really sincerely thank you for this because I love my job. I love my job. And like many of us, I have traveled around the world playing in theaters. I have played O'Neill. I have played Racine. I have done both Stella and Blanche in Streetcar. And I played all 3 of Chekhov's sisters. And now, Margie Walsh. I believe that young actors will grow up to one day play this role. And for that, I thank you, Bearzo. I also thank my dear family who has watched me come and go for 30 years with funny wigs and dialects. And I also thank 3 other people, Anne, who gave me life, and Noreen and Vernon, who gave me a compass. Thank you very much. This means more to me than you may know.
There are 4 equally remarkable performers nominated for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role in a Musical. The nominees are Sutton Foster, Anything Goes, Beth Level, Baby It's You, Patina Miller, Sister Act, and Donna Murphy for The People in the Picture. And the American Theatre Wing's Tony goes to Sutton Foster for Anything Goes.
With 4 prior nominations for Leading Actress, tonight Sutton Foster takes home her 2nd Tony Award. Her previous win came in 2002 for Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Oh, God. Thank you so much. I honestly... I've just never been happier in my life. I've never been happier in my life, and I've never been happier at a job. It doesn't even feel like a job. I love going to work every day. The most incredible company of individuals and performers. All I ever wanted to be as a little girl was to be a performer, and I get to do it every night, 8 times a week, and it's unbelievable. I just want to thank all of my teachers, Miss Cindy and Miss Diane and Miss Juliana and Mr. Bodick and oh gosh, and especially Larry Moss, who really helped me find this role. I want to thank Kathleen Marshall for thinking of me to play this part and for being our fearless, incredible leader, for the roundabout, for Sydney and Todd, for just believing in me even when I didn't believe that I could play this part. I want to thank my 3 leading men, Joel Gray, I love you so much, Colin Donnell and Adam Godley. It is a pleasure to fall in love with you every night. I have 3 dates this evening. my love, Bobby Cannavale, who has changed my life, his incredible son, Jake, who I'm honored to be in his life, and my dresser, Julian Havard, who has been my dresser for 9 years, and we've done 6 shows together, and he's leaving me next week, which is a great thing, and because he's pursuing his dream as an artist. He's an incredible artist. He's the world's greatest artist. And he's moving to Cape Cod, and he's going to be amazing. And I love you so much. So thank you. Thank you.
Hi. Hi, it's me, Paul Schaefer. Let me lay my Broadway moment on you. 1974, and after playing Godspell for a year in Canada, I got a call from the composer, Stephen Schwartz, who said, I wrote a show, and I need you to move to New York to play piano. So my Broadway groove began in the orchestra pit, playing 8 shows a week on Broadway. Now skip ahead 5 years, and I wrote a disco song with Paul Jabara, which made a little bit of noise, and is now being sung 8 times a week on Broadway. So it's full circle. Maybe you remember the tune. It goes like this. Or maybe you remember it more like this. Ladies and gentlemen, Martha Wash, the original weather girl, and has she got news for you?
Get ready, all you lonely girls, and leave those umbrellas at home. Rising, one is getting low, according to all sources. The streets the place to go. It's the night for the first time, just about 10:30. For the first time in history, it's gonna stand raining men.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cast of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Hey man, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna let myself get absolutely soaking wet. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Every special man, oh God believe, but it's tough and strong and each and every woman, each and every woman, so that each and every woman in America. Hi, I'm your weather girl, and I've got some news for you. All you lonely ladies out there that brought those umbrellas, honey, leave it at home. All right. Like for the first time, just about 10:30. For the first time in history, it's gonna stand raining men. It's raining men. Hallelujah. Raining men. Rock and toss, gonna leave. The city's gonna start raining
There's a lot more still to come. Catherine Zeta-Jones presents the award for leading actors, and Chris Rock presents Best Musical, Why Are You Touching Me? On the Tony Awards, only CBS.
Tonight, the award for Best lighting design of a musical went to Brian McDevitt.
I feel every path in my career and life has led me to this show, to this evening, and to this celebration.
The award for Best Lighting Design of a Play went to Polly Constable.
It's incredible to be here, and it's been extraordinary putting Warhorse on Broadway. You are an incredible community.
Please welcome last year's Best Actress in a Musical, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Thank you. Thank you and good evening. The remarkable men nominated for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role in a Play bring to their work intelligence, compassion, and emotional depth necessary to sell the character, the scene, and ultimately the truth the playwright envisioned. And one of them does it in high heels. The nominees are Brian Bedford in The Importance of Being Earnest, Bobby Cannavale in The Mother with the Hat, Joe Mantello in The Normal Heart, Al Pacino in The Merchant of Venice, Mark Rylance in Jerusalem. And the American Theatre Tony goes to Mark Rylance, Jerusalem.
Having won in 2008 for Boeing, tonight Mark Rylance takes home his second Tony for his outstanding performance as Johnny Rooster Byron.
Unlike flying or astral projection, walking through walls is a totally Earth-related craft, but a lot more interesting than pot making or driftwood lamps. I got started at a picnic in Wisconsin, in the northern part of the States. A fellow walked through a brick wall right there in the park. I said, I want to try that. Stone walls are best, then brick and wood. Wooden walls with fiberglass insulation and steel doors aren't so good. It's not that they'll hurt you. If you're walking through walls as done properly, both you and the wall remain intact. It's just that they aren't pleasant somehow. The worst things are wire fences. Maybe it's the molecular structure of the alloy or the amount of give in a fence, I don't know, but I've lost my hat and torn my jacket in a lot of fences. The best approach to a wall is first 2 hands flat against the wall. You'll feel the dry inner surface, then there's a moment of total darkness before you step through on the other side. Thanks very much.
Now to the men nominated for their work as triple threats. They not only act, they also sing and dance. And again, one of them does it in high heels. The best performance by an actor in a leading role in a musical. And the nominees are Norbert Leo Butz in Catch Me If You Can, Josh Gad in The Book of Mormon, Joshua Henry in The Scottsboro Boys, Andrew Reynolds in The Book of Mormon, Tony Sheldon in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. And the Tony goes to Norbert Leo Butz, Catch Me If You Can.
In 2005, Norbert Leo Butz won the Tony for Best Actor in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. He wins tonight for his superb portrayal of Agent Carl Hanratty in Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, this award doesn't mean that I'm the best at anything, but it does mean that I might be the most grateful man in this room tonight. I am so honored to be representing Catch Me If You Can, a great new American musical. There are so many people. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to be honest with you, this was not an easy one. It was not easy for me. I could not have done the performance without the help of so many people. The first one being my incredible wife, Michelle. My 3 daughters, Clara, Margaret, Georgia, my manager, Ellen Flack, Peter, Joe Mahota, everyone at CAA, thank you so much. I want to thank this creative team for trusting me with the greatest role I have ever been offered in my life. Starting with our leaders, Jack O'Brien, Jerry Mitchell. Our incredible composers, Mark Shaman, Scott Whitman. Our book writers, Terrence McNally, Brian Yorkie, John McDevitt, our music director. I want to thank Mark Trezza, my dresser. I want to thank Jack Scott, my dresser on Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. You know, I was cut off and I wasn't able to thank him then. That's how important these guys are. Thank you so much. I want to thank Frank Abagnale for sharing your life story with us. I want to thank John Shea. This is for my father I based this character on, and for my sister. I love you, Teresa. We remember you every night. Thank you so much.
Up next, Chris Rock presents the Tony for Best Musical on the 65th Annual Tony Awards. Only CBS.
Top 10 with Betty White, Monday, and Tuesday, Green Lantern star Ryan Reynolds.
Please welcome an actor who's making his Broadway debut this season in The Mother with the Hat, Chris Rock.
All right, it's getting late. You know, if you would have told me 2 years ago that I would miss the best basketball game ever to hang out with Nathan Lane, I would have said you're crazy. But that's what happened. I remember my first musical like it was yesterday, because it was yesterday. I believe it was Purple Rain, the musical, yes, and the little white girl that played Prince was amazing. Now, then this is the best musical, and it's, come on, we know what the best musical is. This is such a waste of time. It's like taking a hooker to dinner, okay? It's just like, you're gonna get laid. You're gonna get laid. Before I finish, a happy birthday to my lovely wife. That's right, 25. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, the nominees for the best musical are...
The Book of Mormon.
I am a Mormon, and a Mormon just
Catch Me If You Can.
It's already on the verge.
The Scottsboro Boys. Sister Act.
And the winner is the Book of Mormon. Wow.
Accepting the award for the Book of Mormon, director Trey Parker.
Thank you. This has been really, really cool. I think we did this because we all secretly wanted to have a big, happy Mormon family, and now we do. And so everyone up here and everyone in the Circle of Doom over there, to Andrew Reynolds and Josh Gad, you guys are amazing. We want to... I know that on behalf of this big Happy Mormon family, we really want to thank the audiences, because you guys made this show what it is. And therefore, you're going to have to atone for it one day. It's yours now. It's your responsibility. And I think the night would be a big disappointment if we didn't thank our co-writer who passed away, Mr. Joseph Smith, the founder of the Mormon religion. He couldn't be here tonight, but you did it, Joseph. You got the Tony.
Congratulations.
That's it, everyone. That's our show. So wait, tomorrow, if anyone asks you what happened at the Tonys, you can say this. We straightened things out in the opening number. Ellen Barkin and John Benjamin Hickey took home awards for their hilarious performances in The Normal Heart. Daniel Radcliffe kicked some butt, and we were so elated, even Voldemort was sad he wasn't nominated. Oh, that's cool. Norbert Leo Butts sang and danced and tried to catch you, coming at you, chasing Trey and Casey because they nabbed a Tony statue. Commencing in the Chattanooga station from the grand imagination of a Candor Ed collaboration. It takes a lot for a recipient to humble me, but everybody cried for gorgeous Nikki James, the Bumblebee. Andrew Rannells sang I Believe, and he landed it so well, now he's Mitt Romney's VP candidate. All across the country from the north and to the south, they're saying Brooks a hottie with a crazy potty mouth. John Larroquette brought an eloquent mood to the room. I'm still imagining him at home in his Fruit of the Looms. Spider-Man and Mary Jane gave us perspective here. They sang a ballad. We didn't need our protective gear. Bettina Miller's Nun sang Raise Your Voice with Cheer, and Memphis is relentless. They're performing every year. The Normal Heart won. Larry Kramer made us weep, and Warhorse dazzled us with a theatrical sweep. Sutton Foster never lost her knack for talking smack and tapping a full-on assault attack. I'm awesome. Hugh Jackman, take that. Go ahead and roll the credits if you need to. I'm out of control. I'm on a roll. This is my Tony speed through. Anything Goes took the Best Revival Prize in stride. We didn't see it. We were singing side by side by side. McDormand loves her job. Sutton Foster won again. Paul Schaefer sang, and suddenly it started raining men. Mark Ryland loves his fences. He's won the Tony twice. That guy can do it all. His follow-up is Fanny Bryce. Norbert Butts and Mormon swept the floor, won even more awards than Warhorse. Par for the course. Someone get a car for the horse. And in the final analysis, what survives tonight? Theater, because it's what we live. We're changing some lives tonight. And theater thrives because we live to give it, so to speak. This ain't reality TV. This is 8 shows a week. Every chorus member that you saw tonight tapping had to make miracles happen for a chance to see you clapping and applauding in the audience. What's next? Who knows? Anything goes. Now go see a mother Broadway show. Thank you. Good night.